back to my channel. Today I've got another testing 10 video for you. This series is all about in-depth product reviews. I picked 10 products to give you the nitty-gritty on. I've been testing them out over the last month and I am here to report back and let you know what I think of them. As someone that is always on the hunt for hidden gems in the beauty world, I really like testing and reviewing products, so this is my way to give you guys plenty of info on what's new, on what's interesting, and what I've been testing out lately, so you can decide whether or not it's something that you want to pick up for yourself. And I've been thinking a little bit about how I've been doing this series up to this point, and I am going to be making a change going forward that I think will serve all of us a little bit better. So normally in these videos, I talk about the 10 products that I'm reviewing, and then I'll tell you what I'm planning on testing out for the following month. And that piece of things, I think I'm not going to be doing going forward, mainly because now I get in new products with relative frequency. So sometimes something more exciting will come up literally like a few days after I filmed this video, and I'll really want to test that product out. So I don't want to limit myself to 10 things today that I'm picking out for the next month. I want to give myself a little bit of wiggle room, so I am still always going to review 10 products for you, but I'm not going to take extra time to tell you what I'm picking out for the next month. Maybe if there's a couple things that I'm really excited about, I'll let you guys know about those, but we're not going to spend as much time going over next month's picks. Anyway, we have a lot of ground to cover today, but before we get into things, I want to say hello and welcome to any of you who are new to my channel. My name is Lauren. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and chatting beauty with me today. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I hope you will stick around, click that subscribe button, and come back for more in the future. And in the meantime, let's get into these 10 beauty reviews. So the first product that I want to talk about is something quite unique and different, and I hadn't really ever tried a product quite like this before. This is the Celia & Co. Jasmine Green Tea Facial Steam. So basically, this looks exactly like loose leaf jasmine tea, and it smells like it too. Oh my god, if you like the smell of jasmine, this is heavenly. So basically, this is almost like a loose leaf tea that you put into boiling water and you steam your face, essentially, just like as if you were going to have a facial professionally done. You just put your head over a giant bowl of steaming water with a towel over your head, and you just let that steam penetrate your skin, open up your pores, just kind of like detox everything. I tried this out for the first time a few weeks ago, and it was so relaxing. It's just a really beautiful experience. If you've never sat and taken 5 minutes to just breathe deep and steam your skin, it's very meditative, it's very zen, so I actually really enjoyed it a lot. I thought it smelled lovely, and I really did feel like it improved just like the circulation of my skin. It really opened everything up. Like, I could feel my face tingling, but not in a bad way, tingling in that like it felt oxygenated. It felt like everything was kind of opening up and just kind of like plumped and nice, and it was a really nice experience. I definitely look forward to doing this again as kind of like the first step of a weekend pamper routine. So normally, if you're someone that does a face mask on the weekends, to steam your face first will really open up those pores, so that way all of the gunk can be more easily extracted. You'll get everything out, plus all of your skincare, all of your like serums and moisturizers and whatnot will really absorb into your skin better afterwards. So I highly enjoyed this. I actually have a highlighted story on my Instagram page that says DIY facial, so if you want to actually see this product in action and my whole experience, you can check that out on my Instagram profile. My handle is Little Blushing Birdie, so if you're not already following me, go follow me on Instagram. But yeah, I definitely would recommend, if you're someone that enjoys pampering, really loves skincare, wants that whole DIY at-home spa experience, you may want to check this out because it's really cool. So on the note of face masks, one of the things I wanted to do within the last month was to put these 3 masks from Formula 1006 to the test. I was sent these from the brand. They have launched a whole bunch of new products for spring. These were 3 of them, so I wanted to try to figure out which one was my favorite. So these 2 masks are peel-off masks, so they go on like a very sticky gel and then they dry down and you can peel them off. And then this mask is a bubble mask. So you basically apply this and then you let it sit on your skin. As it sits, it like foams up and gets really bubbly. So I will say, I think of the three, my favorite was the Draw It All Out Skin Detoxing Peel Mask with charcoal and plum. I do really like charcoal-based skincare products. I have very oily skin and my skin can get congested quite easily, so I feel like charcoal is really good for pulling the extra dirt and like the impurities out of my pores. So this was nice for that. Now I have tried the Boscia Luminizing Black Mask. That stuff is intense. Like if you get the luminizing black mask in your eyebrows or on your like baby hairs in your face, it basically will wax off anything you get it on. It is heavy duty. This is much more gentle. Actually, really all of the Formula 1006 peel off masks, they do dry down, but they don't dry so hard and tight and plasticky. They're a little bit soft and still almost slightly jelly-like in texture, so when you peel them, they don't pull your hair out. They're much more friendly to like sensitive skin than like a really strong peel off mask. So on one hand, it's kind of a trade-off. I feel like maybe it doesn't work quite as well as the super heavy duty masks, but if you're someone that has sensitive skin and has had a bad experience with a peel off mask before, these might be way more friendly to you. As I almost dropped them. So now this one is the Seaside Glow Skin Hydrating Peel Mask with Algae and Sea Clay. Really my thing about this mask is I found this one was a little bit more difficult to get fully dry than this one because I think this one has like extra hydrating properties. You have to really apply a very thin layer, especially of this product. You have to really go in thin or it won't dry completely and then you can't really peel it off. And I felt like, you know, it did leave my skin feeling quite smooth. I just tend to like peel off masks for the detoxing properties, which is why this one makes more sense for me. But if you're someone that has dry skin, this might just be a fun kind of mask for you to check out. And they're not that expensive. These retail for $6 a piece, I believe, and you can get them at Ulta. So if you just want a fun mask and you're kind of looking for that experience without having to spend a whole ton of money, these are a lot of fun. And then the bubble mask, I think it was nice, but it's not something that I necessarily feel like I want to reach for on a regular basis. I'm not a big fan of the whole bubble mask trend to begin with because to me it's a very itchy and uncomfortable sensation. Like the tiny little bubbles kind of forming and popping on your skin. To me, it's just like, it's an irritating feeling. I have tried other bubble masks and it was the same thing. I do feel like it works. You basically could use this in place of a cleanser like in the morning. I wouldn't use this to remove makeup per se, but like if you're trying to clean your face, you don't need to go in and wash it first before you use this. This basically kind of acts as your cleanser, if you will. It says it's supposed to have Rodial clay and tea. I mean, I do feel like it cleaned my face and it was nice. I just think that in general, texture-wise, I prefer either a mud mask or a peel-off mask. Or if I'm gonna do something that's gonna be irritating to my skin, I'd rather go full ham and do like the Drunk Elephant Sukari Baby Facial, something that like it burns, but you know it's burning because it's working and it only burns for a few minutes, but like you know that the results are gonna be worth it. If I'm gonna be irritated, I might as well get something out of it. And I feel like this didn't do anything super miraculous for my skin. It's more for the novelty of the bubbling. So all in all, that's my verdict. I think Formula 1006 has some fun skincare, and if you're interested in picking up some less expensive face masks to enjoy on the weekends or with your girlfriends or for like a girl's day, they're definitely worth checking out. So I've got one last skincare product that I was testing out in the last month. This is the Murad Skin Perfecting Lotion. This is something I got in FabFitFun's spring collection, and I like this moisturizer a lot. Now I have very oily skin. It tends to mostly be oily in the center of my face. I have very large pores around my nose, in my forehead, and my chin. So those areas really crank out oil. I don't really get oiliness in my like jaw area or along the tops of my cheeks. But foundation and whatnot can really break apart in the center of my face. So moisturizer for me is something that I feel is very necessary, but also very finicky, because if anything is too heavy, my face will look like an oil slick after a few hours. So it's that matter of finding that perfect lightweight moisturizer that still gives my skin the hydration that it wants without getting it like too unbalanced, but that's not too thick and too heavy that it feels like my skin gets overly oily or overly greasy throughout the day. So this is basically a lightweight oil-free moisturizer. It's designed for people with oily or blemish-prone skin, and I feel like that's exactly what it is. It absorbs into your skin quickly, it's not too heavy, it's not greasy, it makes your skin feel very silky soft, but not too overly slippery, nor is it overly mattifying. I found some moisturizers like dry down to like a weird film on the skin. They like kind of leave your skin feeling overly mattified. It's a little strange. That's not the case with this at all. So I've been enjoying it. I mean, I don't think that there's not really a lot to say aside from the fact that it doesn't leave me greasy. It feels nice. It works really well under makeup. I haven't noticed that it's like interacted poorly with my primers or foundation. So I'm enjoying this for daytime use. I think at night I tend to prefer like a sleeping mask, or I don't mind going in with something a little bit more heavy duty if I don't have to worry about applying makeup on top of it. But for every day and under makeup, I think if you have oily skin and you've been curious about getting a new moisturizer, this one is worth checking out. So I've got a whole bunch of different makeup products here to share with you guys. The first are these Grande Lips Hydraplump Liquid Lipsticks. So I have now got 5 different shades. I actually just received the 5th one at BeautyCon in New York a couple of weeks ago, but the brand did send me the other 4 shades to try out. Again, this was something that I did post on my Instagram. I did swatch, like lip swatches of all the 4 shades that I had initially been sent, so I will link that in my description box if you want to see what all 4 shades actually look like on my lips. But this is an interesting formula. So it's quite whipped and hydrating for a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't completely dry down either. It's not transfer proof by any means. It has that sort of teardrop shaped applicator with a little well in the middle, which I actually really like. I feel like it's very easy to get a precise line with this applicator. It holds plenty of product, so you don't have to keep dipping back in to get more as you're applying it to your lips. The scent is slightly vanilla-y, but slightly chemically also, because this does sort of have that same property as their other lip plumpers, the like gel gloss ones, and it kind of has that similar chemical scent to it that you might find in a lip plumper. So this does, when you apply it, it does go on with a tingle, but the tingle does subside after a few minutes. So it's very weird. It kind of reminds me of like those tingly glosses, except it's not a gloss, it's a matte liquid lipstick, and it does have a completely matte finish. And while it does dry down, it doesn't dry down completely. So basically the long story short is it's comfortable. I think that it is long wearing, but if you're eating or drinking, it is going to rub off on you. If you don't like the tingly sensation of a lip plumper, these might freak you out a little bit. Do I think they actually make your lips look plumper? I don't really know. I don't think that it accentuates fine lines in your lips. Like some liquid lipsticks are so drying that they really accentuate all the texture on your lips. I feel like these were a little bit more forgiving, which was nice. Really what it comes down to, I think, for me is that I'm not in love with the shade range, actually. I think they have some cool colors, but I really love like more sort of peachy pinky nudes, and I feel like everything was kind of a little bit more cool toned, at least that they sent me. So like these 5 shades here, Honey Ginger I actually haven't tried yet. This is the one that is new to me. But Butter Rum is kind of almost like a yellowy brown nude. It's an interesting shade. This is probably the one that I'm most likely to wear. River Clay is a much more taupey brown nude, which is a very, very trendy color, but it definitely has that more grungy, edgy feel to it. Smoked Sherry is a really beautiful, like deep wine color, but again, I feel like this is more of like a fall shade. With me going into spring and summer, like I'm kind of over the really dark, vampy lips. And then Red Delicious is your classic deep, like red matte shade, which I think is beautiful and kind of a timeless color. I just don't wear red on an everyday basis. So I think this would be a nice red to reach for, but I know it's not going to be like an everyday staple for me. So yeah, long story short, I mean, I think these are nice. The packaging is beautiful. I love the gold. It does have a little window here so you can see the product, and then the little buttons on top do match the color inside. I just think like if you can find a shade that you really, really like, the formula is nice. But it's not necessarily going to be everyone's cup of tea. So moving on to something that I am kind of obsessed with. This is the Rodial Glamobrow Precision Eyebrow Pencil. This is something I received in my Ipsy bag, and I am obsessed with this. This was so nice. It basically is an exact dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Works very similarly to my Tarte Amazonian Clay eyebrow pencil. I mean, honestly, any skinny eyebrow pencil in this kind of format that has the spoolie on one side and has like a little micro fine tip on the other, it's probably gonna be relatively similar. I just found this shade Dark Ash Brown worked so well with my eyebrow hair color. It looked very natural. It had just like the right amount of pigmentation for a brow product. It wasn't too creamy, it wasn't too hard, very easy to work with, wears really well. You literally get the same amount of product as you do in the Brow Wiz. So honestly, the price of the two is kind of the same. So there's not really any benefit to buying this over the ABH one. And in fact, Anastasia does have the upper hand of being more accessible. Like, I don't even know where I would find this. I think maybe Nordstrom's and like Bloomingdale's carry Rodial, but Ulta, you know, and Sephora both carry Anastasia. So if I'm going to spend the same amount of money for essentially the same product, odds are I probably would just pick up another Brow Wiz pencil or something from the drugstore that's a more affordable dupe. But I'm glad that I have this, and I'm glad that they sent it to me in my glam bag, because I basically paid $10 for that bag, and this is a $20 eyebrow pencil, so that was awesome. And it definitely makes me curious to try more from the brand, because I've heard good things, and now I've had a favorable experience with one of their products. So, you know, I definitely would be curious to see what else Rodial has in their offerings. And I thought this was really great. So if you did get this in your glam bag and you haven't tried it yet, you may want to check it out, because I think it's a very nice pencil. And then on the complete opposite end of the price spectrum, we've got the Essence, the False Lashes Mascara Dramatic Volume Unlimited. Obsessed. Obsessed with this mascara. It is so nice, and it's like $5. Essence Cosmetics are very, very affordable. They are cruelty-free. They make some really great stuff, and they to me are like the true drugstore price point. I feel like drugstore prices have just slowly been creeping up and up and up, but Catrice and Essence and like even Wet n Wild really keep drugstore priced makeup what it used to be. Like, you can find something great around $5. You don't have to spend $15 at the drugstore for a product. So this is what the wand looks like. It is natural bristled and it's tapered, so it's thinner at the end. It kind of like comes to a point. I actually find this makes it really easy to get those little lashes right in the inner corners of your eyes. Sometimes when you have a really, really giant mascara brush, I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. You just can get mascara all over your face, because the wand, as you're trying to comb it through, like it kind of can accidentally brush or hit your upper eyelid, and then it just makes a mess. And if you've just spent half an hour blending out your eyeshadow, the last thing you want is to like get mascara all over it. It's the worst. But yeah, I find this to be a much more thick, kind of like a moussey, whipped textured formula, so it adds a ton of volume to your lashes. And because the bristles are very short and kind of close together, you can like really wiggle and get it in there. It does leave your lashes, it's not really clumpy, it's not going to give you spider lashes, but it's not the most soft, natural, and fluttery kind of mascara, which is honestly not my jam. I usually prefer something like this that is much more volumizing. I want lashes that are like ba-bam in your face. So I find this is really quite nice. I haven't noticed much in the way of smudging or flaking. I think if you rub your eyes, you might notice some smudging or flaking with this. I think if you keep your hands off, for the most part, it wears pretty nicely. So yeah, for the money, I think this is great, and I would definitely use it again in the future. Keeping on the affordable makeup train, I also finally tried out the new Revolution Makeup Conceal and Define Concealer. This has been all over the beauty YouTube sphere. Everybody has been raving about this, buzzing about this, wanting to review it, comparing it to the Tarte Shape Tape. This is a $7 concealer. You can get it at Ulta. And the main reason I think people are comparing it to the Shape Tape is the applicator. So this does have a very large doe foot. Maybe not quite as big as the Shape Tape applicator, but it's up there, it's close. And it's supposed to be very full coverage and supposed to have a similar consistency to the Tarte one. Now, I will say, I think the Tarte concealer is a little bit more pigmented and a little bit less moisturizing than this concealer. This one I feel like goes on just a tad bit creamier and is just a hair less pigmented, so when you blend it out it's not quite as opaque. I feel like Shape Tape, that's a full coverage concealer. You put it on like a little bit and it will cover everything, every imperfection. It covers dark circles under your under eyes and it dries down to like a completely matte finish. And I mean, I usually set my concealer, but like I could get away with not setting the Shape Tape and it's not going to crease on me too badly. This I feel like you do kind of need to set it, and it might settle into lines just a little bit, but it's not terrible. So I definitely think there are people that are actually going to probably like this better than Shape Tape. If you feel like Shape Tape is too heavy, if it's too much or it's too drying or too cakey, you actually may like this formula better, and it's a fraction of the price. Shape Tape I think is up to $27 now for a tube, and this is $7. So you want to save yourself 20 bucks. You may want to go with the Makeup Revolution version because it is definitely nice. I mean, the packaging is beautiful. I think they did a really nice job with it. I do like the bigger doe foot because it lets you apply more product more quickly, and it does cover. It does give a nice like brightening appearance to the under eyes, and if you're someone with very dry skin, I think it's going to give you that little boost of radiance. It's not too matte looking, so I like it. I think I'm going to continue to keep using it, but I wouldn't say that it's an exact Shape Tape dupe. So something I know a bunch of you guys were kind of curious about that I have been playing with in this last month is the Persona Identity palette. So Persona Cosmetics is a brand that is actually created by a YouTuber, Sonia Gasparian, and this is supposed to be like the perfect palette for brown eyes. So you get 12 different shades. There are what, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 7 mattes and 5 shimmer shades in this palette. You've got a nice mix of warm tones, cool tones. You get a little pop of purple. You have lights, darks, basically a little bit of everything to create a number of different eye looks. And I've been really enjoying this palette. It's actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I went in with this shade Charming in my crease. I added a little bit of Chic to deepen up the outer corner. And then I went all over the lid with the shade Seductive. Used a little bit of Humble to kind of just like blend out the edges, and that was it. I kind of wanted to keep my eye makeup a little bit softer today since I was wearing a bright lipstick. But I really enjoyed this palette. I think it's really cute. I think the quality of the eyeshadows is great. They're very smooth, pigmented, easy to work with. Obviously, it's a neutral palette, so nothing in here is going to be super revolutionary color-wise, but I think if you want just an everyday or very travel-friendly palette that you could use for everyday looks, for a great smoky eye, you know, you could do a number of different things with this. And I think if you're someone that doesn't like playing with a lot of color, that's not really into the whole bold, funky eyeshadow trend, this may be right up your alley. You also get a nice mirror in here so you can do your makeup on the go. Has a magnetic closure. It's cardboard packaging, so you know, it's not like the most luxurious thing, but I think it's cute. It holds up pretty well. Yes, it's white, so I feel like it could get dirty fairly easily, but I love the little illustration on the front. I think it's very, very cute. So I like this. I think the price point is in the $30 range, which is a little bit up there for a 12-pan palette. I was able to get this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale for 16 bucks, so I was like, yes, please, I will take that for less than $20. And I think definitely at that price, it was 100% worth it. But I think even if, you know, at the full price, it is a decent palette if it's something that you could use. Like if you already own all these shades, it's not necessarily going to be something that, you know, like if you already have a neutral palette, you don't need this. But if you're someone that's newer to makeup and wants like one staple neutral palette, I think this one is very, very nice and you probably would not be disappointed with it. All right, getting to the end. So I have 2 more products to share some thoughts on with you guys. The first is the Tropez Gradual Tan in Shower Tanning Lotion. And I got the Golden Glow medium version. So this is basically a self-tanner and you use it on wet skin in the shower. So after you're basically all done cleaning yourself, while you're still wet and sitting in the shower, you turn your water off, you apply this, you let it sit on your skin for 3 minutes, then you rinse off. Towel dry, get dressed, you're good to go. So I definitely appreciate the convenience of this, as you know, you can make it pretty easily a part of your morning routine. Obviously you do got to tack on the extra 3 minutes of standing and freezing in your shower with the water off, which is honestly like the worst part probably of this. Also, it does smell like sunless tanner. It doesn't like reek when you're applying it, but I do notice like sunless tanner has that very distinct smell on your skin as it's developing hours later. And so I noticed after using this for like, you know, several days consecutively, I would be in bed later in the evening and like I could just smell the sunless tanner smell on myself, which like gives me nostalgic vibes back to ballroom. I used to do ballroom dance in college, and so when you ballroom dance and you're like in one of those little Latin dresses, sunless tanner, everybody is sunless tanning because you're dancing in like the dead of December and you're pale AF and everybody wants to look bronzed and Latin and beautiful. So like everybody is constantly slathering themselves in sunless tanner for weeks during competition season. So I kind of like took a break from sunless tanner after I stopped dancing because I think I kind of overkilled the whole thing for me. But I was really curious because it had been so long since I'd used a sunless tanner about how this would work, and I felt like this was something that seemed much more easy and convenient that I could get behind. I think it worked, but I didn't notice a huge difference. Obviously this is meant to be gradual. It says gradual tan in shower, so you really need to use this every day for like a full week to notice results. I have naturally like more, not really, I don't have tan skin, but I am not the most pale person. My skin naturally tans, so I feel like when I use sunless tanner, I don't turn a particularly weird shade of orange. Usually sunless tanner looks fairly natural on me. So, you know, I used this for a week every day, and I did feel like I noticed that I was looking a little bit more tan by the end of the week, but I don't think it lasted a particularly long time. So I think you have to kind of keep up with this to still notice results. And you know, it's just, again, it is kind of a pain in the butt to have to stand around in the shower for an extra 3 minutes and freeze, but if you want to look more tan, it might be worth it. The other thing about this, you know, April was still freaking freezing. It snowed so many times here in Connecticut in the last month, so I wasn't really wearing a lot of like tops that exposed my arms, or you know, shorts or anything, or dresses where my legs are being shown. So I really would like to try this out again now that I can actually wear clothing where I'm going to see my skin, because I think that was also part of the problem. It's like, you know, you use sunless tanner, but then if you're bundled up in sweaters, what's the point? So I think, you know, now that I, you know, can actually wear a dress, the weather's getting warmer, I like to try this again and see whether or not I really notice a difference. And the final product, this is another one that I got in FabFitFun's spring collection. This is the Dermelect Cosmeceuticals Makeover Peptide Infused Concealer and Treatment Anti-Aging Ridge Filler. This is basically a nail treatment. So you apply this either on its own or as a base coat under your polish. And I thought this was nice. I mean, I don't know that my nails were necessarily like drastically improved by this. Honestly, I feel like I do need to use it a little bit more. I kind of had, during those couple of weeks that were really rough last month of my being sick and everything, I definitely did not pay much attention to my nails. So I feel like I used this and then I didn't use it and then I used it again. So I don't think I gave it the most fair trial. So I'm going to keep using it, and I'll let you guys know what I think with more long-term use, whether or not I feel like this made my nails stronger or helped them grow out better. But I will say, It's so pretty. On its own, if you apply 2 coats of this to your nails, it's got this sort of like iridescent blue shift to it. So it looks nude, almost clear, but it has like a little iridescent sparkle to it. So it just makes your nails look really pretty. If you don't want to apply polish and you just kind of want to throw something on to make your nails look nice, this is really great as that like perfect in-between treatment. As a base coat, I felt like nail polish goes on really nicely on top of it. I haven't had any issues. It's what is underneath the nail polish that I'm wearing today, which, by the way, Floss Gloss, so impressed with their nail polish. Definitely excited to try more. I mean, this is the first time that I was using it, so I can't really say too much about it, but it's been a few days. My nails haven't chipped. They look beautiful. It went on so easily. Very excited about that. So, long story short, this seems to be nice. It's very expensive though. I don't know if I think it's necessarily worth $18. You can get it on sale. I mean, I would say it's definitely worth $10, maybe even like $12 maximum. For what it is, I think it's kind of a little bit overpriced, but it is a nice product and I have been enjoying it. So those are all of my reviews from this past month. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about all of these products. Just to give you like a little sneak peek, since I'm not going to be doing the full overview of what I'm going to be testing out in the next month, I do want to give you like a little teaser of a couple of the things that I am definitely going to be putting to the test. I got a big PR package from Algae. I shared like a little PR unboxing / Ulta haul on my channel over the weekend, not that long ago, so I'll link that for you guys in the cards. Every time, Lauren. I'll link that for you guys if you want to check it out. But I am really curious about these new Goddess glosses from Algae. I did try one out the other day and I thought it was really nice. They're very like frosty and pretty, and they add like this really nice kind of duochrome sparkle to your lips. So gonna be playing around with these. And then I also have the new Pixie Fairy Lights. I don't have all the shades. I have 3 of them. I think there's 6 maybe total, or 5, but I definitely have 3 here. And these are supposedly dupes for the Stila Magnificent Metal Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. So very excited to be putting these to the test and letting you guys know what I think. So thank you guys again so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this series, give this video a thumbs up. I always really appreciate your feedback. And again, if you're not already subscribed to my channel and you want to see more of my videos in the future, make sure you click that button before you go. You can also turn on the little notification bell if you want to be notified whenever my content goes live. I've been trying to upload in the mornings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but it doesn't always happen because life be crazy. At least in the last couple weeks, it's been a little bit crazy. Things are starting to kind of like ease back down into a normal routine. So hopefully everything will be as planned. But it's always great to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.